Tesla is pulling back, SpaceX is stepping away, and Elon Musk just did the unthinkable. He threatened to cancel every single U.S. government contract, then quietly signed a secret deal with BRICS. As Washington struggles with tariffs, subpoenas, and political chaos, Musk is handing over Starlink to India, plugging Tesla's AI directly into China's state energy grid, and shifting billions of dollars in infrastructure projects far beyond the reach of U.S. regulators. The Pentagon has already labeled him a national security risk. The Treasury Department has launched a full investigation. Trump himself has publicly called Musk crazy. But what if this isn't just Musk rebelling? What if this is something bigger, something closer to succession? And here's the real question everyone's too afraid to ask. If Musk no longer answers to Washington, then who does he answer to? Because the world's wealthiest man has just walked away from the negotiating table and taken the future of multiple industries with him. On June 5, 2025, Musk went public. He accused President Trump of being ungrateful and issued a direct threat to terminate all federal partnerships, just 72 hours after Tesla's market value plunged by 14.3%, erasing $150 billion in market cap, according to Bloomberg. But this wasn't just some emotional outburst. This was the final act in a carefully executed plan that had been unfolding for months. Tesla had already exited multiple federal EV programs. SpaceX had stopped its coordination with the Pentagon, and Starlink had quietly pulled away from military satellite reviews. No big press conferences, no dramatic headlines, just calculated and deliberate withdrawals, one after another. Musk's own testimony before Congress on May 14th laid out his thinking in plain language. If innovation is punished in the United States, I will take innovation to countries that still believe in it, and that's exactly what he's been doing. Since that statement, Musk has systematically moved Tesla's and SpaceX's critical infrastructure into jurisdictions where Washington holds no authority. According to the Wall Street Journal, federal officials were stunned by how fast Musk managed to retreat. As one Department of Defense official admitted off the record, "We didn't lose Elon, we priced him out." But if this isn't just about protest, then where is Musk building? And more importantly, why? After the Pentagon's first quarter 2025 request for override access to Starlink was denied, Washington responded aggressively. SpaceX was immediately removed from 3 major satellite procurement lists worth over $4 billion, as confirmed by the GIO. In the vacuum that followed, defense giants Lockheed and Raytheon stepped in to claim contracts, while Boeing was handed control over a classified Pacific surveillance relay. But while U.S. defense contractors filled the gaps at home, Musk was rapidly expanding abroad. South Africa, Brazil, and India, all BRICS member states, fast-tracked the integration of Starlink's satellite network into their own national infrastructures. India, in particular, directly challenged Washington's objections during bilateral talks in March, stating that Starlink's domestic rollout was purely an internal matter, according to Reuters. By June, pilot coverage was already active across 5 Indian states, with full national deployment scheduled for the 4th quarter. And that wasn't all. In Russia, leaked procurement documents revealed requests for non-state low-Earth orbit satellite providers, offering military-grade communications capabilities. Many analysts saw this as an indirect open door for Musk's team to enter. As one Rand Corporation analyst explained to Bloomberg, Starlink isn't exiting the defense sector, it's simply changing flags. But now that Musk's satellites are no longer under Pentagon control, a new problem emerges. Who controls where they orbit next? Following Washington's March 2025 expansion of EV tariffs, Tesla made another bold move. The company quietly cut ties with every U.S.-funded EV corridor and grant program, and instead signed a massive $2.3 billion infrastructure deal with Brazil. According to Brazil's Ministry of Communications, this new agreement includes the construction of a nationwide charging network and battery research and development facilities, all entirely outside the reach of U.S. regulatory authority. At the same time, Tesla strategically rerouted critical supply chains through ports in South Africa and Malaysia, effectively sidestepping U.S. compliance rules that had slowed operations. Bloomberg Intelligence reports that this pivot reduced Tesla's U.S. market exposure by 38% in just the 2nd quarter alone. This is not simple retaliation, this is deliberate design. Musk's logistical overhaul is building a system engineered to operate fully beyond Washington's jurisdiction. One senior Tesla executive described it anonymously to the Financial Times as a firewall against policy whiplash. But perhaps the most significant shift is what's happening, mostly unnoticed, inside China's state-controlled energy grid. In May 2025, regulators in Guangdong quietly approved Tesla's AutoBidder AI platform for use in municipal energy balancing systems. This marks the first time a U.S.-developed algorithm has been embedded into China's state-linked energy infrastructure this year, according to Bloomberg NAF filings. Originally designed to optimize Tesla's fleet vehicles, AutoBidder is now managing automated power distribution across major industrial zones in southern China. No Tesla logos, no flashy press announcements, just quiet back-end integration. While companies like NVIDIA and Google saw their AI tools blocked under the strict Titan 2024 export controls, Tesla managed to bypass scrutiny by registering AutoBidder as commercial, non-vehicle energy management software. Even though Treasury officials have since launched a compliance investigation, Musk maintains that the platform operates fully outside any controlled export categories. Still, not everyone agrees. As one analyst from the Center for Strategic and International Studies told Reuters, this isn't just a licensing issue, it's a sovereignty issue. Musk just planted U.S. code directly inside Beijing's grid. But what if that grid is only the beginning? Because right now, Musk's technology platforms are spreading far beyond China, and at a speed and scale that few predicted. Let's break this down. Back in 2020, SpaceX was handed a prime position by the Pentagon, directly involved in modernizing America's defense capabilities. It was an incredible vote of confidence. But by mid-2025, the picture had changed completely. SpaceX was locked out of U.S. defense modernization projects, while BRICS nations moved quickly to incorporate Starlink into their own national systems, and they did so without ever seeking approval from Washington. For example, in May, Brazil formally submitted a request to massively expand Starlink operations across its entire territory, as part of a $1.1 billion national education broadband initiative. In South Africa, a parliamentary hearing in April identified Starlink as one of the final candidates to deliver emergency communications and network services during national crises. Meanwhile, India has been actively working with Brazil to develop joint standards for satellite interoperability, and they've specifically named Starlink as one of the core integrators in that framework. Every one of these deals was signed and advanced with zero oversight or participation from the United States, the very country that once poured billions into SpaceX's early development. These aren't just private company deals. These are full-blown national infrastructure agreements, signed at the government level, with long-term strategic implications. And this leads us directly to the central question that nobody seems to be able to fully answer. If Musk isn't answering to Washington anymore, and if he isn't officially aligning himself with any other government, then who, if anyone, has control over the most powerful civilian technology network on the planet? Things became even more complicated on May 29, 2025. That's when the U.S. Treasury Department quietly opened a detailed review into whether Tesla's AI-powered energy platforms, already exported to countries like China, Brazil, and South Africa, should be classified as dual-use technology under the newly updated 2025 export control regulations. According to reporting from Bloomberg, the investigation is zeroing in on Tesla's AutoBidder and grid balancing systems, both of which are now fully operational inside state-connected utility networks overseas. The core issue being examined: do these platforms allow countries to bypass strict AI trade restrictions that were expanded after the 2023 CHIP Act revisions? Musk's legal team has argued strongly that these software platforms are, quote, commercially non-sensitive, essentially saying they don't contain any restricted national security elements. But according to Reuters, Treasury officials are treating this case as a legal test case, one that could set the tone for how AI export enforcement will be handled going forward. While no formal sanctions have been applied yet, sources speaking to the Wall Street Journal say this case could establish the first clear precedent for whether American-developed AI can be embedded inside non-allied countries' critical infrastructure without U.S. government clearance. And this isn't just about technical classifications. At its core, this is a battle over where national security ends and where commercial independence begins. Now, you might be wondering if Musk's technology is making Washington so uneasy. Why are other countries suddenly closing the door on him too? Well, by June 2025, Musk's companies found themselves quietly ejected from two of the most high-profile government advisory panels in the United States. Tesla was removed from the Federal EV Infrastructure Forum, and Musk's artificial intelligence company, xAI, was pushed out of the National AI Strategy Group. In both cases, they were replaced by tech giants like Amazon, Microsoft, and Anthropic, as Reuters confirmed. A senior White House official told the Financial Times that the decision wasn't personal, but rather a result of, quote, ongoing alignment problems in Musk's increasingly unpredictable international partnerships, especially in areas related to energy grids, artificial intelligence, and satellite infrastructure. What's key here is timing. These removals came shortly after two major moves by Musk. First, SpaceX refused to give the Pentagon override access to Starlink's global operations. And second, Tesla signed a massive electric vehicle charging network deal with Brazil that operated outside of any U.S. regulatory framework. In response to his removal, Musk publicly posted a sharp statement. If DC wants control, it can build its own infrastructure. We'll build where we're needed. That single post sent a very clear message, one that Bloomberg's top technology policy analyst said marks a decisive shift from simple cooperative decoupling to outright strategic sidelining. But while Washington is pulling away from Musk, some of America's closest allies are growing increasingly concerned about where his loyalties lie, and what could happen if his satellites can't be counted on in times of conflict. By mid-2025, multiple U.S. allies, including Germany, Japan, and Australia, had each launched official reviews of their national exposure to Starlink systems. Their concern? The risk that these privately controlled systems may not respond to government commands in a military or geopolitical crisis. According to reporting from the Wall Street Journal, Germany's Federal Network Agency launched a detailed investigation after Starlink declined to follow NATO contingency protocols. Japan's Ministry of Internal Affairs delayed approvals for nationwide Starlink services, citing a complete lack of clarity on who would hold operational authority in a wartime scenario. In Australia, government defense briefings from May specifically referenced the troubling precedent Musk set when Starlink services were cut off near conflict zones like Gaza and Crimea, decisions that were made solely by Musk's internal team, without any allied government input. And these concerns aren't just theoretical. Today, Starlink provides critical emergency communications, remote surveillance capabilities, and broadband access across multiple sensitive military regions. One NATO advisor told Bloomberg that Starlink represents a new kind of strategic asset, one with no clear chain of command. Yet despite these growing risks, none of these countries have fully banned Starlink. And there's one simple reason. Starlink still delivers better performance, faster speeds, higher reliability, and lower costs than nearly any legacy network available. So then, if US allies are this nervous, why is China doing the exact opposite, actively giving Musk even more room to grow? In a move that shocked global energy experts, China granted Tesla regulatory approval in May 2025 to both expand its Shanghai Gigafactory and deploy AI-powered fleet optimization software across its entire national market. A decision that came just 2 weeks after the United States finalized new tariffs targeting Chinese electric vehicles. According to Bloomberg, Tesla has secured new land use rights for battery production along with localized data exemptions, permissions that even top domestic competitors like BYD have struggled to obtain. What's even more surprising is that officials from Anhui province confirmed that Tesla will co-lead a public-private EV research lab in Hefei, with state subsidies helping balance out the costs caused by manufacturing cuts in the U.S. While many American companies are pulling out of China due to increasing tech restrictions, Musk is expanding, making Tesla the only major U.S. tech company increasing its presence inside China's key industrial sectors in 2025. Chinese regulators seem to treat Musk more like a business partner than a political player. But as one Asia-Pacific trade expert told the Financial Times, Beijing doesn't need to control Musk. All it needs is to give him space to operate. Now, the real question isn't whether Musk still depends on America. It's whether America can handle what happens next. The separation is complete. So who gets to control the future? This isn't just a fight over regulations. It's a geopolitical custody battle over the world's most influential technologist and the critical infrastructure he oversees. By mid-2025, Musk isn't simply stepping away from U.S. policy. He's building entirely new paths around it. Tesla's AI is helping to power China's electrical grid. Starlink operates in India, Brazil, and South Africa, far beyond Pentagon influence. Around 40% of SpaceX's launch schedule now serves international customers, while xAI trains models using UAE data centers. At the same time, Washington is rushing to rebuild alliances, replace Musk's influence in strategic discussions, and investigate the very projects it once funded. This is the price of losing leverage. Not because Musk turned against America, but because, as he said, America became a place where innovation is punished. So here's the question for you. Did the US just lose the one technologist it couldn't afford to lose? Or has Musk created a blueprint that other companies and nations will now copy? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out another video that's now playing on your screen.